Hello everyone, thank you for joining me again. My friend Victoria von Arx is coming to the house today to read through some piano duets with me. Since she is arriving at tea time, I thought it would be fun to prepare some sandwiches, some scones, and some delightful little matcha cookies that we can enjoy for afternoon tea in the music room. And the first thing we are going to make is the matcha cookies. I'm going to link my recipe for matcha cookies in the description below, but I wanted to tell you that you can turn just about any cookie recipe into matcha cookies by simply adding matcha tea. This is a green tea powder, and it colors the cookie dough a beautiful shade of green. It's a fun thing to have around for St. Patrick's Day. And for my recipe, I need 1 cup or 226 grams of room temperature butter and 1 cup or about 120 grams of confectioner's sugar. And I'm going to beat these at medium speed until the mixture turns fairly smooth. This looks very smooth, so now I'm going to add the yolk from 1 large egg. Just beat that in. Scrape down the bowl as needed. Once the egg is incorporated, add 1 tablespoon of vanilla extract. This is the vanilla extract that you and I made together. Just for fun, today I'm going to add a tiny splash of lemon extract. About half a teaspoon. At low speed, I'm going to add 2 cups or 260 grams of all-purpose flour. I'm going to add this a little at a time. Now I'm going to beat in 1 to 2 teaspoons of matcha powder. And just watch to see what happens to this dough. Scrape down the bowl. I was just made aware that tomorrow is Mother's Day in the UK. So if you are the son or daughter of a mother, let me wish you a happy Mother's Day. I'm going to scoop this glorious green dough into a bowl. This dough needs to chill for 1, 2, 3 hours or even overnight. And while the dough is chilling, I hope you will join me for a short drive to Tierra Farm. I need to buy some tea.
Of you, oh my, our bodies interlace, slow and easy, and I can reach you from a distance. I can, so beautiful, I can hear you within the silence.
Tierra Farm is my favorite source for organic tea. I am particularly fond of their Earl Grey and autumnal Darjeeling teas. Today, I will try out Tierra Farm's Irish breakfast and raspberry black teas. I can link these teas and provide a free shipping code in the description below if you are interested. Well, that was a fun shopping trip. I'm going to put my Tierra Farm groceries away, and then we can get cracking on the scones. But first, we need to bake off the matcha tea cookies. My cookie dough is nicely chilled, so I'm going to go ahead and form the cookies on a parchment-lined baking sheet, and my oven has preheated to 325 degrees Fahrenheit or 160 degrees Celsius. I'm using my cookie scoop here. This is a 1-inch diameter scoop. I'm not going to make all of the cookies right now, just enough for us to enjoy for afternoon tea and for a little snacking for someone. So after I scoop the cookies, I like to roll them into balls. And then I flatten the cookies just slightly so that they will not roll around on the baking sheet. I will bake these in the preheated oven until the underside of each cookie starts to color slightly. That will take 20 to 25 minutes. I will freeze the remaining dough. I have to say, these cookies look very chic. When the bottoms of the cookies start to color, you know they are done. I'm going to let these cool on the baking sheet for about 5 minutes, and then I will transfer them to a wire rack to cool completely. On to the scones. And by the way, I say scone, not scone, because I use the Scottish pronunciation. And for these particular scones, I need 3½ cups of scooped and leveled flour, which is 500 grams. Just tip that into a mixing bowl. And then add 1/4 to 1/2 teaspoon of salt, 2 tablespoons of baking powder, and 90 grams, or a scant 1/2 cup, of castor sugar. Now, I buy castor sugar on Amazon, but you could absolutely substitute regular granulated sugar here. Castor sugar is super fine sugar. That was not a scant 1/2 cup, but it's okay. My scones will be a little sweet. Then I want to mix these ingredients for about 30 seconds just to combine them. Now I need to add 1/2 cup or 114 grams of cold diced butter. You can use salted or unsalted butter here, depending on the flavor you want. And then I'm going to mix this just until the butter is cut into the flour. In other words, the flour should look like coarse crumbs. This will take about 2 minutes. While the flour and butter are mixing together, I'm going to take 3/4 cup or 191 mils of buttermilk. And to the buttermilk, I'm going to whisk in 2 large eggs. Little whisk. Now we can add the buttermilk and eggs to the flour mixture at low speed. And I will mix this just until all of the flour is moistened. That will take 3 to 5 minutes. We are definitely mixed here. There are no dry flour particles at the bottom of the bowl. Scrape this off. This is a beautiful dough. Clean the decks. And then I need my pastry cloth. Flour the cloth. Add a little flour. I want to knead this just until it becomes a smooth ball. Again, beautiful dough. Very easy to work with. This makes scones that are light and moist, but firm enough to hold up to gobs of clotted cream and strawberry jam. Then I want to cover this with cling film and let it rest right here at my workstation for 15 to 30 minutes. My dough has rested, the gluten has relaxed. So now we can roll the dough to 3/4 of an inch thickness. Now I can link this pastry cloth in the description below if you are interested. I can link this French rolling pin as well. Then I need to cut out rounds. I'm using my 2-inch diameter biscuit cutter here. I dip it in flour. When I cut out scones, I push the biscuit cutter straight down. I do not twist it. Apparently, if you twist the cutter, it can crimp or pinch the sides of the dough, and that interferes with rising. You can always re-roll or simply pat out the scraps. I'm going to bake these 12 scones today, and then I will save the remaining scones to freeze and then bake off at a later date. Cover these scones with cling film and let them rest for 15 minutes. Meanwhile, I'm going to clean up my pastry cloth and my kitchen workstation, and then we can bake off the scones. It's time to glaze the scones. So I've got 1 egg that I beat, and then I'm adding just a splash of buttermilk. This egg wash will help the scones to brown in the oven. My oven has preheated to 375 degrees Fahrenheit or 190 degrees Celsius. Now, if you want extra brown tops on your scones, you can let this egg wash dry for 15 to 20 minutes and then glaze the scones again with egg wash. I'm not going to do that second layer today. I'm going to bake these off right now for 15 to 20 minutes. While the scones are baking, I want to bring Avery on a short walk in the garden. Please join us. garlic bulbs that you and I planted last fall are enjoying the late winter rain. Their green tops are growing with gusto. I'm going to make cucumber sandwiches with cream cheese and chives and some ham and cheese sandwiches. Here's my cream cheese. I just need to soften this in the microwave. My cream cheese is nice and soft, so now I'm going to snip some chives into it. Give this a stir. I'm also adding some salt and pepper. I'm going to make the cucumber sandwiches on white bread and the ham and cheese on brown bread. So here's my cucumber. This is an English cucumber. You do not have to peel it. At least I don't. And I'm cutting the cucumber the same size as the bread. And then I'm going to cut it lengthwise on my mandolin. That way I can have uniform slices. No matter the filling I use, I always butter the bread first. It seals the bread, so the filling will not create a soggy sandwich. The chive cream cheese. I ran out of cucumber. I always cut off the crust after I have filled the sandwich. This way, the sandwiches can have a clean edge. Scones are ready. These look wonderful and they smell incredible. I'm going to let them cool. There are many ways to make cucumber sandwiches. This is just one version. I want to cut these into thin rectangles or fingers. And I'm putting the little sandwiches on my three-tiered stand. On to the brown bread, ham, and cheese sandwiches, and I have already buttered the bread. I like to add Dijon mustard to my ham and cheese sandwiches. And of course, the mustard will not soak through the bread because I buttered the bread. I'm using uncured Black Forest ham. Swiss cheese. Since I want every piece of the sandwich to have cheese, I need to arrange it a little carefully. This makes a very nice snack for the tea sandwich maker. Since we already have a lot of rectangles or fingers on this tray, I'm going to turn these sandwiches into triangles. Strawberry jam, obviously not homemade. I have every intention of making my own strawberry jam in June, when strawberries are in season. Clotted cream, scones, and then the matcha cookies. These are for the top tier. So these are top tier matcha cookies. And I have to try one of these cookies for you. Oh, I can smell the matcha and I can smell the lemon and the vanilla. Fantastic. Victoria will be here soon. So now all I have to do is set the table, brew the tea, and change my clothes. For the tea, I'm going to serve the Irish breakfast tea that you and I purchased at Tierra Farm earlier today. Oh, this has a beautiful fragrance. I can link this in the description below if you are interested. And Tierra Farm did give me a free shipping code that I can share with you in the description. I'm going to bring this into the music room while we wait for Victoria to arrive. so glad that you could join us on this rainy afternoon for tea sandwiches, scones, matcha tea cookies, and music. Thank you for sharing this experience with us. I can put a couple of my other videos at the end of this one that you can enjoy between now and my next upload. Until then, please treat yourself well, and I will see you in the next episode.